What's up guys? Today we are reviewing a new hybrid smartphone featuring TCL's award-winning NXTPAPER technology. So this is the TCL 50 Pro. Roll the intro. So yeah, this phone has won a design award when it was launched a few months ago. So what's special about this phone? Well, it combines an LCD display with an e-ink style e-reader display that TCL have named NXTPAPER. But no doubt it's better than a regular e-reader display with a higher resolution display, faster refresh rate and better color reproduction. So TCL attempts to bridge the gap between smartphones and e-readers and has designed this hybrid TCL 50 Pro. Now some of you might be asking, why do I even need an NXTPAPER display when AMOLED and OLED look way better? Well, the display technology is great for those who experience eye strain or eye fatigue from their phones, especially if they are reading a lot on it. So if you can imagine flicking a switch, getting three options: color, ink paper mode or maximum ink mode. And I love that transition, how it switches to the maximum ink mode, and you can see there battery life remaining 315 hours. If you go into the maximum ink mode, it means you're just going to be doing reading. You've got full access to your phone, contacts, messages, you've got calculator, calendar, clock, notes, and you've got access to Google Play Books. So if you like reading on your phone, look how neat that looks. Really easy on the eyes, a nice large screen to enjoy your reading sessions. And when you need Android, flick that switch and you see how quickly it switches back to Android. Now the screen features anti-glare coating, you've got low blue light all the time, and a paper-like display which makes reading more natural. So we are going to deep dive into all the features, including the NXTPAPER modes, and at the same time we're going to do our usual tests for performance, camera, gaming, etc. to find out how this phone ranks in my top smartphone ranking chart of 2025. Now first of all, let me quickly show you what you get inside the box. So user manual, Type-C to Type-C charging cable, and a 33-watt fast charger is included in the box. Now the TCL 50 Pro is very affordable. You can pick this phone up right now for around £230 on Amazon. And if we talk about the design, the phone is made from a plastic frame. We have a fiberglass finish on the back, and the color is called Moon Grey with a marbled matte finish and has a slight shade of blue blended into the grey. Furthermore, the phone is also pretty slim at only 7.9 millimeters and weighs 196 grams. Now on the back we have an interesting camera layout with a round module housing the triple cameras, and thankfully the sensors do not stick out too much. So overall the phone does manage to look aesthetically pleasing. We are talking budget price phone here, yet they managed to make the phone feel quite solid in the hands with the right amount of effort gone into the design to give it a touch of premiumness. So not by any means does this feel like a cheap phone. Now let's quickly check out the ports. So at the bottom we have a loudspeaker, a Type-C charging port, microphone and also a headphone jack. That's right guys, this phone has a headphone jack. I haven't seen one of them in quite a long time. Now on this side we have our SIM tray, and that SIM tray can take one 5G nano SIM card and one micro SD card up to 2 terabytes. So you can't use two physical SIMs, you can only use one SIM, but this phone does support eSIM. Now up on top we have a single microphone, and if we flip the phone around, you've got your loudspeaker on the earpiece. And on this side we have volume rocker, power button, and now we have a dedicated switch for the NXTPAPER feature. So we never had that physical switch in the TCL 40 Pro, so this is a new feature which is going to make switching between the modes really easy. So this phone does have dual stereo speakers and it's DTS certified. And we'll do a very quick sound test. Now let's talk about that display. So you are looking at a 6.8 inch 120Hz LCD display with a full HD resolution of 2460 by 1080, offering 550 nits of peak brightness and 396 pixels per inch. The display does support smart refresh rate and the option to switch between 60Hz or 120Hz all the time. Other cool features, you've got NXT Vision, where you've got image enhancements, video enhancements, and game enhancements. And you can see I have switched everything on. Now, three sides of this phone do look quite symmetrical with quite narrow bezels, but the bottom bezel does have a little bit added to it. Otherwise, nearly symmetrical. Now, let's talk about that switch on the side. That is the NXTPAPER Mode switch. When you flick it up, it will give you three options. So you can have color paper mode, ink paper mode, or maximum ink paper mode. So let's check out the color paper mode and tap enter. It gives a little animation, and that's it. You are now in color paper mode. So now it looks like you're looking at a paper canvas with icons that almost look like they've been drawn. In this mode, you have access to all your apps. You can play games, you can do what you like. Really, the NXTPAPER mode is for reading. So if you see an article and you want to read it, it's going to be so easier on the eye to read your content, your books, your news articles, etc. Whatever it is you like reading, you can read in comfort, knowing that the screen is anti-glare and will protect your eyes with low blue light. And you get that paper e-reader style feel. And this time we're going to ink paper mode. So you can turn the sound effects off if you want, and maybe even mess around with the animations if you don't want animations. Ink paper mode, so it's not in color now, everything's black and white. So in this mode you get an extended battery life, and again some people prefer to read in black and white. You can see how clear the writing looks, no distractions, and much better battery life. And the last mode, max ink mode. Now before I show you the last mode, if there's a certain mode that you like the most, you can auto apply it. So next time you flick the switch, it won't give you a choice. It will take you straight into that mode that you like. So let me quickly show you max ink mode. So this mode is for pure reading. Running apps will be closed, and you're only going to have access to calls, messages, clock, and calendar, and your notifications will also come through. So let me switch. So you can see now it's like a totally different OS. These are the apps you have. There is nothing else. You can't swipe up or down or left or right. You can't really do anything else. You can see remaining battery, approximately 293 hours and 38 minutes, which is crazy. These are the apps that you are limited to. You get a super long battery life in this mode. You got your calls, messages, contacts, settings, and the settings you will see are quite condensed. It turns this thing into a basic phone. Calculator, calendar, there are no other apps, no Play Store, but you do have Play Books. So you can download all your favorite books and you can immediately start reading. So this mode is especially for reading. If that's what you like doing, you can do it in comfort. And look how clear that writing is. Absolutely amazing. And yeah, in all the modes, you can also read in landscape if you prefer. So portrait or landscape. Let's switch back to full LCD mode. So I must say the feature has been very well implemented. I love how this works. Performance-wise, this phone is powered by the MTK Dimensity 6300, which is a 6nm octa-core clocked at 2 GHz with 8 gigs of LPDDR4X RAM and 512 gigs of UFS 2.2 storage. The phone does also support virtual RAM extension, so you can expand the RAM by a further 8 gigs using your free internal storage space, effectively giving you 16 gigs of RAM. Now, other things to point out, we have Android 14 with TCL UI version 7 on top. So the OS is generally fast in operation. The apps do open and close without any major delays. There is some bloatware over here. You can see that comes as standard, free of charge. You don't have to pay for it, but it's very easy to select and uninstall the apps that you don't want. There is a fingerprint reader built into the power button, and it does the job. As you can see, it pretty much unlocks the phone without too much hassle. And it's pretty quick as well. There is face unlock, and that's like really fast. That's actually more reliable than the fingerprint reader. If the fingerprint reader fails, your face unlock is certainly not going to fail. So you've got those features as well. Performance, gaming, and benchmarks coming up very soon. But first, let's talk about those cameras. Now we've got triple rear cameras, 108 megapixel primary, 8 megapixel ultra wide, and a 2 megapixel macro. And on the front, we have a 32 megapixel selfie camera. Okay, quick walkthrough of the camera app. So we've got 108 megapixel mode, so you can literally shoot full resolution photos. You can see there is a bit of processing time in between photos, but that's expected at that resolution and with this mid-range chipset. Now under video mode, the maximum resolution supported is 1080p at 30 frames. That's with the rear camera and the front camera. So that's the maximum resolution supported. And within video mode, you have shortcuts for slow motion, normal, and time lapse. We've got photo mode. and you do have a super macro mode built in. And under more, you've got a whole bunch of options, including night, motion, pro mode, AI, color, video, horizon lock, and so on and so forth. So lots of interesting options in the camera. Let's go ahead and check out some photo and video samples and see the results for ourselves. I'll be right back. 1080p 30. What about battery? This phone has a 5010 milliamp hour battery built in and supports 33 watt fast charging, and thankfully the charger is included in the box. On regular LCD mode, you can expect between 1 to 1.5 days of battery life from normal use. If you flick the NXTPAPER switch in maximum ink mode, you can then achieve up to 7 days of battery life and a massive 26-day standby. Okay, now we're going to check out the system and benchmark information. So starting off with DRM info, you can see the supported refresh rates over here, 45, 60 and 120. They are the supported refresh rates. And as you can see there, there's no mention of HDR. So the phone's display does not support HDR. If we go right at the bottom though, I can confirm that we do have Google Widevine Level 1 certification. So what that means is if I open up Netflix and quickly show you, it will support Netflix HD streaming, which is good, but you don't get the HDR because the display just doesn't support it. And here is CPU-Z, where you can check out the clock speeds, and you can see this is running the Mali G57 for integrated graphics. So this phone has 512 gigs of UFS 2.2 storage, so we're going to have to test out that storage speed to see where it stands. So here are the results. Read speeds 1315 and write speeds 335 megabytes per second. Alright, moving on to the benchmark, starting off with Geekbench single core score 725 and multi-core score 1921. In 3D Mark Wired Life Extreme, we got an overall score of 369. I then ran the Steel Nomad Light test and overall score 145. And unfortunately, the Solar Bay test was not supported. And in the Antutu benchmark test, this phone achieves 421K. And here are the settings for COD Mobile. Maximum selectable is medium and high. So let's check out some gameplay.
Enemy in sight. Target down. Losing Bravo. We've taken the lead. Contact with enemy. Tango down. Recon ready for deployment. Losing A. Target down. Another killer drone ready. We lost Bravo. Targets in sight. Enemy down. Missile on. UAV online. Losing. Enemy down.
Alright, so quick CPU temperature check, and you can see the CPU in real time over here. So it peaked at around 52 Celsius. So based on the power and performance of this phone, most shooter games will play at around medium to low graphics. And to give you an idea of how this phone ranks, here is my top performing smartphone chart of 2025, showing you the latest smartphones and seeing how they compare with each other. Now all smartphones are now ranked by Geekbench multi-core scores. So higher the score, faster the phone, and therefore higher it ranks on this chart. For some people who are not bothered about benchmarks, I've also given each phone a rating out of 100 based on the features and the specs. So you can see exactly which phone is the most powerful and which phone overall is the best in terms of rating. So based on that, the TCL 50 Pro takes position 33 on this chart with a Geekbench multi-core score of 1921. And you can see the results of the other benchmarks on this chart as well, and you can compare them with all the other phones. So it's currently bottom of the table performance, and it is the most affordable smartphone on this chart so far. And based on what this phone can do, the cameras, the overall performance, the specifications and the features that this comes with, I have given this phone an overall rating of 70 out of 100. So there you have it, guys. That was the TCL 50 Pro. Now this is a very interesting smartphone. It's aimed at a very specific audience, people who especially like reading books and articles on their phone or using their phone for extended hours. The display is designed to save you from eye strain and eye fatigue. General everyday performance, opening and closing apps, installing new apps, everything is running pretty smooth. But gaming wise, you will be limited to medium to low graphics. I would actually say that this is only recommended for the casual gamer. Great for your eyes, general performance is also good. Excellent for reading, and you've got the brilliant NXTPAPER technology with the new flick switch, which I absolutely love. And the cameras take pretty decent looking photos. Now onto the caveats. The same cameras take poor looking videos and limited to 1080p. There is plenty of bloatware to get you started. If you try and undertake even a slightly intensive task like open a video from gallery, you're going to see quite a long loading time there before it starts playing the video. So yeah, it shouldn't really take that long to load a video. Here's a front-facing video and it's doing the same thing. It's just loading. And the display does not support HDR and no IP68 rating, but I think that last one can be forgiven because we've only just started seeing budget smartphones coming in with IP ratings. Now, if you have any questions or if there's something specific you want me to test, then do let me know in the comments. Now, if you want to see more of my latest and greatest unbiased tech reviews, hit the like button, sub to the channel and hit the bell icon. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.